everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. We've had some new followers from different American states join us. So we've had some more people from Ohio and two people from Pennsylvania. I still haven't tracked down the 1% of people that are following from Italy. So where in Italy? Really quite incredible, these people from all across the world. So this video has started with showing me running up and down the stairs, taking all the bags and bags of things that I cleared out from that shower room cupboard. So it really is quite incredible, the bags that I took out of our loft room. So that's our loft conversion room, our bedroom. So there was a bag of boys' clothes, which I got rid of because my sister gave me loads of clothes when my daughter was little from my nephews, like little, baby grows and t-shirts. It didn't really matter what colour they were. Then there are two big bags of really good quality things that I'm going to give my daughter's old Italian teacher, including some like nappies that are all in the bags and everything, and some clothes which have got all the labels on, so I'm going to give them to her. There was two bags of clothes that have got the odd mark on or stain that they went away clean, but over the years the stain has just become sort of more apparent, I guess. Don't quite know what happens to fabric once it sort of sits around. And then just general rubbish like toothbrushes that I like to clean with once they've been used, but I don't need loads of those, so got rid of those and other rubbish. And then another bag that I've advertised just for free, which is all for children that have got eczema. It's like bandages, wet wraps, wet suits and stuff for children that have got eczema. So I've really cleared out a lot of items, and you can see I've done pictures of all the items that are bagged up and all the things I've got rid of. So that made me feel really pleased. I kept one bag of things that were my daughter's that I wanted to keep, that has got like special memories. I remember her wearing them so many times, so I don't feel ready to get rid of those. Someone mentioned to me about the little teddy bears, how you can make them out of baby grows and sleep suits. So I thought that was quite a nice idea. And then yesterday, all of my plans changed for the evening. So do you remember in the morning on the way to school, my daughter said about it's World Book Day, and I was like, oh no, this is like Michael McIntyre, his clip about the Roman Day. I don't know if you know that comedian, but a lot of comedians don't really have my sense of humour, but Michael McIntyre does this fantastic clip about Roman Day. So she wants to be Cinnamon Roll, which is a Sanrio character. And I was like, oh my goodness. So me and my husband popped to Hobbycraft yesterday in our lunch break, and I managed to find some lovely white sort of fur fabric. And here we are planning out the parts of, using the top as a template, but then turning it into a dress. Now I've made a couple of skirts before, just using another skirt as a pattern. But remember, we didn't have a pattern for this. My husband's quite logical. He can't really sew, but between the two of us, we managed to work out the design. And if you watch it until later, you'll see the dress, which is about 80% complete, and then we've got the headdress. So this morning, I did the school run with my husband. My daughter went in very happily. She's absolutely loving school at the moment, which is great. We came home, and I mentioned to you about the brown bin and how I hadn't filled it up. I didn't get a chance yesterday. I just did so much. I just didn't have a chance. So I decided to do a bit this morning with the hope that I hadn't missed the brown bin men. So I cleared loads of old dead twigs and so on. Now, it's a theory of mine about being really careful not to do this too early on, because how it impacts the insect population and like the pupae and stuff for butterflies. I'm obviously right, because although I'm not digging the ground up and I'm not touching the ground at all, but a little robin was singing and followed me around the garden. So obviously that was exposing some insects there for the little robin. My husband kindly brought me a hot cross bun because I'd not had breakfast this morning, so I had a little break. And then I started cutting back more of the Michaelmas daisy twigs. They're all the tall twigs that are up in the air. Also goldenrod, which I've got to admit I'm not a lover of goldenrod. I'm not that keen on how it looks, not that keen on how it spreads like a weed, but it is fantastic for insects and it's great for my favourite bird. So I do have some goldenrod in the garden. And then the lavender has gone a bit crazy. My dad got some, he likes lavender because of the bees and butterflies that it sort of encourages and supports. I do love lavender, but what's happened with these lavender plants that he's put in my garden is they've become massive. Really, really big. So I'm going to have a little look on YouTube and see whether I can perhaps like cut it in half, because some of them are taking over and they're now sort of growing where all my bulbs were. So I love my spring bulbs, so I don't want that to cut the lavender to get bigger and bigger and bigger and just kind of swamp all my other plants. Also it's spread right out over onto my drive, so I need to make sure that doesn't happen this year as well. So I don't do that much outside because I had a 10 o'clock call this morning. So this morning one of my apprentices has finished their apprentice. He did really well and I had the exit interview. So he talked about how he found the programme. It was very nice, and in terms of he felt that the support that I gave him was good, so that was nice to hear. And then after I finished that meeting, I decided that I'd just do more in the house. I'd originally planned, because I do one job which is sort of set hours, 18.5 hours a week, and my other job, the tutoring and the adult learning job, that's under what we call a 0 hours contract, which works perfectly for me because I do no hours during the school holidays, well, hardly any hours in the school holidays, so I can just spend the time with my daughter. And like today, where I'd planned to do some things and just changed my mind, I just did my 2 meetings and then the rest of the time did what I wanted to do, which I wanted to do more in the house. And I can't quite believe that I'm saying that. Did I just hear myself say that I want to do more in the house? I'm a bit shocked. But I just feel like this whole thing, this YouTube journey has made me really enthusiastic, and I feel so supported with all the comments from all people over the world, and really feel like I'm getting to know people. It's just really nice to hear about all your lives and how you've been on this journey before me and offering me some really good ideas and telling me things about your own family members. A lady the other day said about some items of clothing that she'd kept and then passed on to her grandchild, and how pleased she felt and how her child felt really pleased when they sort of saw the items of clothing that had been passed down. Someone else has sort of told me about their dog being really, really poorly, which I just think dogs are such a member of the family. It's just so upsetting when any pet is unwell, but a dog really does become a very close part of the family. So I can't imagine quite what that family's going through. I hope that the dog pulls through and, everything's okay. So I was just showing you in this part of the video of the edges that I need to tidy up. So you can see that there's quite a lot of tidying up to do. Someone's kindly put a crisp wrapper in my garden, and there's a flower pot there that I need to tidy up, and all of the soil needs to be dug over. I'm just not going to dig it over quite yet because of the impact on the environment. So that will be dug over, but not quite yet. The first step is just to cut back, chop things down, which I started to do today, and I'll probably do a little bit on days where it's not rainy. It was a little bit rainy this morning, and then it became quite heavy, and at the moment it's dry. And I should say, my great idea yesterday about getting all the washing on the line because it was a fine day and there was no rain. Yeah, guess what? I left it out overnight and then it started to get wet. I ran outside just in time and I managed to get it in. So there's a couple of things that they're just like damp. They're much drier. So I have saved some time and have saved me from kind of having everything on the radiator, which I'm not that keen on, but it's a bit of a shame. And I don't have an airing cupboard, which I think a lot of you do have. I don't have one. We've got a combi boiler, so I don't have sort of a central place where the washing is aired, like how I know my mum used to. Just showing you a little bit there in terms of my spring flowers. And then I just want to show, for those of you that struggle with tidying, remember all my hard work in the bedroom? Well, you can see this is how it's all gone back. I will say, to my daughter's defence, that big pile just in front of the wardrobe is the washing that she's brought up as part of her chore that I've insisted that she follows. So her job is to take the washing up and split it into 3 piles, like I've said about before. And yeah, she brought it up, and then I'm helping her put the items away because she can't do that in that drawer at the moment. I am going to take your advice and change the way that things are folded in that drawer. I was really pleased with myself. If you keep watching this video, I take out everything from the top drawer in the chest of drawers, empty it out onto the rug. When I then put it back, I put it back in the way that you've told me, and I can't believe it. I'll be able to find things, and so will she. So that was a really good result. When she came home from school, I said to her, go and have a look at in the top drawer of your chest of drawers and how you should be able to find everything. And the clothes that you wear, when you take your uniform off, you'll be able to choose from that drawer. And of course she went up and she could see everything all filed neatly. And I don't think that method takes up any more space, really. What do you think? Can you still get the same amount in the drawers? I'm going to try it with her main drawer, which is in the wardrobe, and see whether it works. I was actually really amazed as to how much came out of that drawer. That pink top, the pink jumper, it's got teddy bears all over it. My aunt sent that to me from America when I was about... How old would I have been? I was still a brownie, so I would have been about 8. It was a bit too big for me, but that was like America was ahead of the fashions. So I had one of these fashionable tops that nobody else had. And I can remember my sister asked to wear it to the party she went to. So I lent the top to her. And I saved it because I always really, really liked it. And do you know the funny thing was, when my daughter looked through the door, she said, I want to wear that today. And actually I said, oh no, I don't want to wear that around the house. We'll wear that, you can wear that to go out. But I thought that was quite nice that she chose that. She straight away saw it. So there were some things that I could get rid of as well. That massive great quilt that I keep in that bottom drawer, that's moved from the main wardrobe into the drawer. And I just keep that in the event of my daughter being unwell. As like a spare for as a mattress protector, but that's taken up so much space in her bedroom. I'm going to put that in our room. I thought that I'd be able to get rid of some of the onesies that she got, but actually she came home and tried them on and they both fit her fine. So we're keeping hold of them for now until they don't fit her anymore. But there was a couple of other items of clothing which I could get rid of, so I put in the pile to go. And then in a minute, you'll see me start on the bookcase. On her bookcase, she's got so many books. Remember in the playroom, she's got like, I don't know, hundreds of books. Well, she's got like a similar sort of number in her bedroom. And we rotate them regularly, so we have a bit of a change. So some of the books that she's read, she likes to keep hold of because she says she's going to read them again, which is fair enough. I don't want to force her to get rid of things that she might read again. And then also, I think the other reason why we have so many books is obviously we've got a lot of Italian books as well as English. So that's probably why we've got extra number, I guess. There's a lot of books that used to be mine, which she enjoys reading. A couple of books that used to be my husband's. So there's quite a lot there. Yeah, reading books, fiction books, non-fiction books, and she's got loads and loads of magazines, which I'd hope that she'd be happy to get rid of some of the magazines that she's got. But I asked her when she came out, when I picked her up from school, and she said no, that she still wants to keep them. She said, you asked me this not long ago and I got rid of some. I don't want to get rid of any more. So I said, okay, that's fine. It's understandable, isn't it? She likes still looking through them, as long as she is still looking through them. So you can see there's 4 sections there of books. Now I do have another one of those rattan baskets. So what my plan is to get this down to 3 shelves of books and then put one of the rattan baskets back. So probably in the bottom. So that's what I would like to do. want to show you a different angle so you could also see all the books that I'm taking off the shelf. So we've got piles and piles and piles of books. So what I did was I created different piles. So a pile of books that we're going to read once more and then give to charity. A pile of books that I just wanted to check with her. And then I've done them in order so that I started by putting them on the top shelf. Then I decided that wasn't great because she wouldn't easily be able to reach them. So the top shelf, the second shelf down, is going to be all the books which I know which are good books, reading books for her to read. So we've got lots of books that she can read for like her reading awards that she has to do at school. But then when I go to find them, it's really, really hard to locate them and then get her to choose. So I'll put them all in one place and then I can say, well, if you want to choose your next book from whatever level. And then the third level down, I'm putting all the Italian books together so we can easily find them. So there's sort of like different, there's a few Italian books that I thought she was going to be willing to get rid of, but she said, oh no, I love that book. I still read that, I still look at that a lot. So it's like some nice, they're lift the flat books, but they're quite grown up. And they are good for Italian language because they talk about, like there's one which is all to do with parts of the body. So that's like more unusual words. So I'm quite happy with her keeping hold of them. And then also there's like the little diaries that she's done on holiday, paperwork and some other certificates. So I've taken all them out and they're going to be put in the little cupboard that I organise at the end of her bed, which is for all that sort of thing, certificates, documents, etc, etc. So this was all before I collected my daughter from school. So I did quite a lot here. I had one more call in the afternoon, work-wise. That was 2 till 3. And that's with a really, she's a lovely young lady. She's doing learning and development apprenticeship. And she's at Gateway. So she's really close for her final assessment. And she works really, really hard. So I hope she does well. So she's got her final assessment on the 3rd of April, so we've still got a little time yet, but it was her mock test today, so we did that. And then once I finished that, I came down, I asked my husband if he'd be able just to put the beans on, so my daughter has green beans to snack when she comes out of school, whilst I did a little bit more on her outfit. So at the end of this video, I show you what I've done with my husband in terms of making her this cinnamon roll outfit, a Sanrio character. She desperately wanted to be it, and I said, oh, can't we be the same thing as last year, or can't you be Hermione from Harry Potter? She said, I really want that. And I thought, oh, like she's not going to be saying that to me, is she, when she's 15? So I lit the fire and did a bit of the outfit, and my husband put the beans on. And the reason why I did the fire, I cleared the grate out and then lit it. It's not that cold today, but it was just in an effort to dry off these damp items of clothing. So I lit the fire and went and grabbed the beans and said to my husband if he can tend the fire while I go and do the school run. But yeah, do please stay to the end and you'll see this dress we made. I can't believe between the two of us we were able to do it. So I can use a sewing machine at what I'd consider basic level. My husband's quite logical. He's an engineer and he's clever as well, and he'll look at something and sort of work out the sections. So what we did was we took one of those tie-dye tops that we did that fits her well. We used that as a pattern, and then I made it longer, so to turn it into a dress. So we cut out all the pieces, so no pattern. So I can't believe that we've done it. So tonight after school, me and my daughter spent some time on that. So she did a flute practice, she did a bit of homework, she had her flute lesson, and then we've spent the rest of the evening on it. And I didn't tell you this, me and my husband actually were up until midnight last night making it, but she's so pleased. Oh my goodness, she's so pleased with it. And I thought I'd just let you see the state of my washing. Look, you can see it's then starting to rain. It was really, really light rain when I put the camera out, and then as I went to bring it in, it was coming down much more heavily. but thankfully I got it in just in time. I'm sure some people would rewash it, but we've got hard water area where I am, so I just thought, oh, a little bit of rainwater, oh, that'll make my washing nice and soft. I bet some people are pulling their hair out hearing me say that. And then I wanted you to see a few more of my spring flowers. I know many of you are looking forward to spring. My favourite, my absolute favourite, is the hyacinth. I love the colours, I love the smell. Also the tulips that I planted are all coming up, which makes me start feeling excited because we're going to look at the tulip fields. And then I did a bit more in the kitchen to keep on top of it. I'm afraid that I've still got some saucepans left from Sunday. Eek! Largely that is because, like I said last night, we didn't go to bed until nearly midnight because we were making this outfit. I think my husband wanted to help me because tomorrow he's leaving to go to London at about 6 in the morning. So I've got a lot to do and it's just me. So I appreciated him helping with that. And helping with the design. He's more creative than me. I can, as I said, put the bits together with the sewing machine, but he's quite good from that creative angle. My daughter's got that sort of trait as well. Yeah, so did some more in the kitchen. Tried to tidy up sort of some evening things, I'm afraid. Breakfast and lunch things. So I just think if I do a little bit, I mean, the dining room unfortunately looks like it's been snowing because the fabric that I use for the dress frays really badly. So I've got that all over the floor at the moment, which has created a bit of a mess. But after we finished today, I said to my daughter, right, let's do a quick 5-minute tidy up. So she helped me tidy up. And I think sometimes you just need to prompt. It's because I don't consider myself very tidy. I don't think to do that. So I'm trying to do that more, to think, right, yeah, we've made all this mess. Let's put it all away. And thinking about it, that's what my mum used to do when I used to do craft and make stuff when I was a child. She didn't let me go to bed if, like, with all stuff all over the table. She'd be like, you need to tidy that away first. So it is important, I think, isn't it, to remember to prompt children to do that. That will help them in the future when they have their own homes, etc., etc. Excuse me. So, yeah, so my husband's in London tomorrow and he's staying overnight. And then tomorrow I've got my godson's birthday, my brother-in-law's birthday, only I now cannot find his card anywhere. So I've got to sort that out. I'm at the head's office all day tomorrow. And then I come home, my mum's coming round. And I've decided I can't do band as well because I'd have to be in 2 places. So we'll go to guides, but that'll be one less thing for me to think about. When I take her to band, that's quite a trek away. So I've decided that we're not going to have time to do that. And then you'll see in this next part of the video, I put all the washing out, all my whitewashing. And then also I've got to put out all the washing which started getting a bit damp. I am relieved though, that it's still drier than what it would have been if it had been sitting on the airer. So, silver lining and all that, I guess. A couple of people in my family always comment about my whites. And they always say, wow, how do you keep your whites so white? And I do notice that my daughter's blouse is always really, really white. And a lot of the children at school, her old school, not her new school, her old school, all their shirts seem to go grey. But it's because I don't mix the colours, and I think a lot of people here do. So, you're only going to end up with a grey shirt if you put all the uniform in the washing machine together. And I'd never do that. I save up a white load. And I sometimes buy certain items of clothing, I need certain items of clothing, to be white in order to have, like, all my bed linens white. That means I have enough to do a whitewash. And then next you're going to see me cutting out the pieces of my husband. So cut the sections, pin the sections, tack the sections, and then you'll see the first part of the dress. I've still got more to do, but that's how it looks. And you'll see all the books that I still need to sort out. Thanks ever so much for watching my video. Thanks for your positive and lovely supportive comments, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.